being what I was, a prime minister. Not always a very intelligent person, but okay. I was prime minister then. The best thing about being a politician is that you require no qualification. It's true. I find, to become an office boy, you have to pass SPM. But to become a politician, what is the qualification that you should have? Nothing. I wouldn't say idiot, but anybody can become a politician. So this is the easiest job actually that is to be found in this country. No qualification whatsoever. I must tell you that I qualified in the art and science of frying bananas, banana fritters. That's what I did during the war. I used to fry bananas and sell. And being qualified as a banana fritters fryer, I was regarded as qualified to become prime minister. So you see, that is the job you should go after. No qualification at all. But to come back to my subject about this dangerous idea of going against conventional wisdom, that when people are selling your currency and depreciating it, and you become poor, you must not do anything except blame yourself, because you have no knowledge about finance. So I was blaming myself for 1 year, and I found that it was not very productive. And so I had this dangerous idea of fixing the exchange rate of the Malaysian ringgit. And I thought that if I fix the exchange rate, then people cannot devalue the currency or revalue the currency. I had to read books on banking. I had to ask bankers about what banking is all about. And one of the things I discovered at that time was that bankers lend you money which they do not have. Now that is another job that you should go after. It's true, it's absolutely true. Because when I read about, mergers and acquisition, and there were companies paying billions of dollars. I said, could this company have billions of dollars to buy this other company? I thought, it's fantastic if they have this. But later on I discovered they borrowed the money. Then I asked myself, do the banks have so much money? Later on, when we had the crisis, I found out that the bank was lending you money which they did not have. And the best part of it, if you lend money, that money that you lend become your assets. I mean, if everybody can do that, we all can be rich. We go around lending money to everybody, and the money you lend becomes asset. So that is banking. So I learned about banking. And then I realized that these people who were selling the Malaysian currency did not have any Malaysian currency, did not have any ringgit at all. Now how could they sell if they don't have? I thought that they were carrying cash, 100 million cash around and depositing it with the buyer, and the buyer then selling it, carrying a huge bundles of cash. So, being ignorant, I told the customs people, when people leave this country, check their bags to see whether they're taking out our money. Because they are taking out our money and we are becoming poor. And the currency begins to depreciate. And so the customs people being very your obedient servant, they checked on all the bags and they told me, no, there was no money taken out of this country. I said, if they don't take out the money from this country, how are they going to sell this money? They must have taken it out. But later on, when I read the book on banking, it is something that the banks are allowed to do. They are allowed to create money. You know, you need banks to create money. Otherwise, how can there be billions and trillions of dollars? The government cannot print that amount of money. Obviously, the banks were creating money and lending money. And the currency traders were borrowing money which does not exist in the bank. They borrow money from the bank, and the bank lent them huge sums of money. They call it leverage. In other words, you leverage things that is below here, nothing, and you leverage, it becomes higher. So they lent this non-existent money to the currency trader, and the currency trader also did not receive any money. It's just that it's written in the books that they have borrowed so much money, and then they sell the money which did not exist to their friends, fellow currency traders. Every time they sell, the value of the ringgit goes down. So that was how they were fiddling around with the value of our currency without any money at all. These currency traders do not handle any money. They are the cause of the present recession in the whole world, because every day currency traders trade to the value of $4 trillion. $4 trillion is the total sum of money that they've been trading among themselves. It's equal to the total production of Germany for one whole year, but the currency traders do that in only one day. But the effect of their trading is to lower the value of the currency if they sell and sell and sell. But if they buy and buy and buy, there's nothing. When they buy, there is no money at all. All that happens when they buy is that when A sells to B, then the account of the money belonging to A is transferred to B, all in the bank's book. Nothing at all, no currency involved, no cash involved. But the effect of their transfer or their selling of our currency is to reduce the value of the currency. And of course, if they buy repeatedly, like all things, when it is a buyer's market, then of course the value appreciates. So that was what they were doing. I was shocked when I learned about this. And at one time I thought that it's another dangerous idea. I thought I should cease becoming Prime Minister and go into currency trading. But fortunately, I did not make that a reality. I continued to be a Prime Minister. And as Prime Minister, I decided that since the buying and the selling is a process of transferring the account in A's account to B's account, I said that, well, we'll stop that. So we told the central bank, please tell the banks that if anybody sells money, that is not valid. We don't accept that the money has been sold. If you sold $100 million, A sold to B, but the money will remain with A and not go to B. We don't recognize the transaction. And because of that, they couldn't sell anymore. And suddenly the currency became very stable. We